Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fandom Fights. I am your host, Tim Brzakala. This is a change of scenery for me. I am in the Hobbit hole. I am in the literal hole of a Hobbit. There he is back there being a creeper. I'm literally in his home right now because, well, we're related. But that's besides the fact. We got a debut match for you here in singles. We've got Ross Bristow, new to the league, new here, trying to make his debut, get his first win on his record, going up against Joe Farrelly, who is not new to the league, but he is new to singles. We saw him earlier this season in teams, and he's actually coming back in teams again this season. So the rest of this second half of the season. So we've seen Joe, but we've never seen him in singles. It'll be interesting to see what he can do in singles versus teams. And like I said, Ross, completely new. We have no idea how he's going to be. So it's going to be an interesting match. Let's go talk to them right now in promos.
Well, like Tim said, Joe's no stranger to these geek type of matches, but this is the debut match of him under the Criterion Collection banner. We're excited to show you what he can do. How's it going, Joe?
Oh, I'm doing very well. See, I know a lot of people are used to seeing me around here in teams, but finally I'm here at Fandom Singles. It took me a while, and that's because Numbnuts here missed the last sign-up post. But I'm here to do what I always do now, and that's challenge for titles. Now, Ross, I don't know much about Ross. He's a rookie. But don't think for a second that I'm going to take him lightly. I'm going to underestimate him. I'm going to take him for granted. But there'll be no beginner's luck here. And I know that because they put you against me. So we know he's not having beginner's luck. All right? And not even my old nemesis, the Wheel, can save him in this match. All right? One-on-one, I've lost one match. And that is to a man who got called up to the movie trivia showdown. But the Hot Fuzz that played in that match, I would KO that Hot Fuzz. This is me now, and I'm ready for this. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Okay, I am Ross Bristow. I am brand new to the league, but except now, like, I actually have a vast array of knowledge. In fact, the oldest film I've ever seen, I've actually seen George Méliès's From the Earth to the Moon. Yes, and then the oldest DVD I own right now is actually Freaks. So, of course, like, I know a whole bunch of stuff, and then of course, now, like, I could tell you movies that actually, like, people have never even heard of, let alone seen. And I've probably seen them. So, yes, my name is Ross Bristow, and I'm brand new.
All right, Tim. Those were fire promos. Yes, Tim, they were. Stereotypical one host talking to yourself thing. Ha, ha, ha. Here we go. Okay, well, let's get right into round number one of Joe versus Ross. It's going to work like this. Every competitor is going to answer the questions. They got 10 questions from 10 random categories in the realm of fandom fights. Each question is worth 1 point apiece. If any competitor gets a perfect round one, they will be issued a bonus question. Ooh, what could it be? 3 repeats and a challenge rule for the entirety of the match. All those rules being said, gentlemen, do we have any questions as we get into round number one?
Okay, yes, okay. It's about the challenge.
Yeah.
If I get the if I challenge it and if I get it, do I get that challenge back or is it done?
Yep, nope, you keep your challenge. So you'll
Okay.
if you challenge an answer or the wording of a question or something, and it's ruled in your favor, you keep your challenge.
Okay.
Okay, great. All right, so let's get right into it with question number one. It is coming from the category of the Rocky franchise. Rocky. What is the most amount of Rocky films that Sylvester Stallone directed consecutively? These Rocky movies, I enjoy some of them. Some of them are good. Some of them are trash, but overall, I like the franchise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Ross.
3.
And Joe?
3.
Both are correct. So
5.
starting off good here. 1-1. And look at that. I've been saved. It's Kaleb Koho coming in clutch to help
I'm
me.
here to save your life. I didn't know we started. My bad.
You're wonderful. I just have things to do. I started early without you. I figured you'd show up. I am happy to see your.
Are we already in round 1?
We are. I will ask question number 2, and then you can jump in with question.
Sounds lovely.
I love it. This is the best surprise I've had all day. Okay,
I love you.
Number 2 is in Worlds of DC. What type of transportation do Arthur and Mara use to get to the desert in Aquaman? See, Koho, I'm at the Hobbit's hole.
Yes.
And his family is like, let's hang out. And I'm like, I got to go do match.
Gotcha.
4. So we started a bit early. 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go over to Joe.
Plain.
And Ross.
Sub, I never saw Aquaman.
All right, so Joe is correct. Plain is the correct answer. So Joe takes the 2-1 lead. As we get into the next question, Kaleb, are you ready to give that one?
Absolutely. Your next question comes in the category of the MCU. Name 3 of the 4 places that Secretary Ross says aloud when he shows the Avengers events to demonstrate their destructive capacity in Captain America's Civil War.
That was a wordy one.
Yes,
You
it is.
did fantastic. Did you just go do something that involved Flash Gordon?
I did.
I figured that's what you were doing.
Yep. TKO.
Okay, cool. I like that. That's
Good
cool.
Good
5.
Repeat.
All right.
Repeat.
First repeat for Ross.
As I took a bite of a cheesy gordita crunch. All right. Name 3 of the 4 places that Secretary Ross says aloud when he shows the Avengers events to demonstrate their destructive capacity in Captain America Civil War.
Kaleb, I was going to say it's far too late to be eating, but then I remembered it's not almost 1 a.m. everywhere.
Who says I don't eat at 1 a.m. regularly? Okay, like
I used to before lockdown.
5, 4.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Ross on this one.
Okay, I got New York, Sokovia, and then Wakanda at the beginning of Civil War.
We'll go over to Joe.
Sokovia, DC, New York. I believe the other one's Laos.
Joe is correct. Wakanda is incorrect. So Joe actually gets that point. And then Ross, just make sure when you say your answer, you also show us what you have written on your board. Okay, buddy?
Okay.
Awesome. All right. So next question, let's get into it, is in Disney live action. Who stars as quarterback Joe Kingman in The Game Plan? The Hobbit saying something to me from off screen. I'm going to mute and let him say. Okay, I got the message from the Hobbit. It has nothing to do with this match. 5.
Sheila wondering when you're ready to go hang out.
2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Joe on this one.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
And Ross?
The Rock.
I think that's okay. I think
Sure.
we can give you the point.
That's fine.
One.
I'm not challenging it.
That's fair.
So,
All right.
give him the next one.
Your next question comes to the category of YA dystopia. What, or not what? I'm going to start that over because I already died. All right. Who does Katniss shoot instead of President Snow at the end of The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2?
This movie,
Bad.
there are parts of it I like.
I agree, but it's not good.
It's not as good as Catching Fire.
Catching Fire is perfect, though. That's a beautiful movie.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll start with Ross.
President Coin.
And Joe?
Yeah, I couldn't remember her name.
President Coin is correct. So Ross gets the point on there. 4-3 in favor of Joe as we get into the next one in Pixar. What type of creature is Colt Bronco in Onward? This movie is awesome.
This movie is dope as shit.
I need to rewatch it. It's been a while.
Last time I watched it, we watched it together, I believe.
That's true. I think we said this in a match like a few days ago. 5,
We did.
4, 3,
Recycled material.
1. Pens down. We will start with Joe on this one.
Elf.
And Ross?
Goblin.
Both incorrect. We were looking for Centaur. He's a Centaur.
Yeah. All right. Your next question comes in the category of quotes. In which Star Trek film will you find the quote, "Second star to the right and straight on till morning"?
Is just the subtitle acceptable, or
We will take just the subtitle.
Yeah. Yeah, we already said Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a day, Tim. What a day.
It's a fun one. I was in the car for a while. Now I'm here. I watched Revenge of the Sith today.
It's a good movie.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're going to Ross first.
Undiscovered Country?
And Joe.
Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country.
Oh,
He asked for the subtitle, put the full thing anyway. That is correct.
I
5-4.
didn't think I had the time, then I did.
all right. 5, 4, and
5 is horrible.
5 is terrible.
all right. So we move on.
Row your boat.
We move on to the next category of Middle Earth. Who gives Thorin the key that will open the secret door to the Lonely Mountain in the Hobbit series? Robert Parker has poured me a shot of Crown Apple.
Upon request, I'd like to add that.
Ooh, a voice cameo from the Shelob himself. And an elbow.
He was on a screen earlier.
Oh, okay. See, I just got here. I didn't know that.
3,
Repeat.
2,
Wise up.
1.
Repeat, please.
Down. Let's start with.
So I asked for a repeat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally missed it.
He did.
Sorry.
That's my bad. I heard that. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. In Middle Earth, who gives Thorin the key that will open the secret door to the Lonely Mountain in The Hobbit? Ugh. Man alive. I'm sweaty.
I'm tired.
Large and
I watched Flash Gordon and I hated every minute of it.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Joe
Gandalf.
and Ross.
Balin?
Gandalf is correct. So Joe gets another point.
I had Elrond until I said repeat.
All right, so we move on to the next one, Caleb.
Your penultimate question comes in the category of DC. Which DC film features the characters Max, Pooch, Jensen, Cougar, Clay, and Aisha?
I think you should change your name to Aisha.
Should I change my name to Aisha? Aisha Koho.
You should go.
Pronouncing penultimate right.
Keep it down. Peanut gallery. You've not been called upon.
Hey, Robert, just one more time for you, buddy. Penultimate.
5, 4,
Get out of here.
Nailed
Get out of
that
my
short
face.
fraud.
2, 1. Pens down. We're starting with Ross on this one.
The Losers?
And Joe?
Don't stop the losers.
Both correct. As we get into the final question, which is in the category of scores and soundtrack. Name one of the 2 people credited with composing the score for 2015's Fantastic Four. Yeah. How's it going with there's someone else that's here?
Does spelling matter?
Spelling is not does not matter. Does not matter.
Yep.
You're fixing that, Koho?
Working on it.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Joe, we'll start with you.
Hopefully everybody else is watching the Schmodown. John Powell.
And Ross.
Michael Giacchino?
Also incorrect. Both incorrect. We were looking for Marco Beltrami or Philip Glass. So with that, at the end of round number 1, we have Joe up 7 to Ross's 5, and we will get into round number 2 right now. All right, well, guys, we're back. We were apparently live for a second. Whoopsie, but we're back. We fixed it. Round 2. We're getting into it. It works like this. It is the wheel round. Each competitor is going to get a chance to spin the wheel from wheeldecide.com. There are 10 slices with 8 different categories, including spinners and opponent's choice. If you like what you land on the first time, you can keep it. Otherwise, you can choose to spin again, but you have to keep whatever you spin the second time. There are 5 questions worth 2 points apiece. Unless you go to multiple choice, it's worth 1 point apiece. Each competitor still has 2 repeats and both their challenges remaining. All right, so Joe, you are in the lead. You're going to get to choose whether you want to go first and second. The categories on the wheel are DC, Middle Earth, Disney live action, DreamWorks, James Bond, Worlds of DC, Star Trek, Fandom Oscars, and like I said, Spinners and Opponent's Choice. So, Joe, having heard the categories, do you want to go first or second?
Thomas, I'm definitely thinking going first. I've got that lead.
Yeah, go for it.
Got that lead. Yeah, let's keep this lead up. Well, I'll keep the lead no matter what. Well, no, steal. Fuck.
Okay, so you're going.
Steals, I forget steals.
All right, so this is going to be the spin for Joe. It lands on Middle Earth. What do you think about Middle Earth?
Yeah, I'll take it.
What is the score again, Tim, before we move into the round questions?
7-5.
7-5. Okay, just want to make sure.
All right, so Joe, I will give you your questions in Middle Earth to spare Mr. Koho.
Thank you.
All right, are you ready, Joe?
Yep.
All right. Your first question in the world of Middle Earth. In the Two Towers, what is the name of the Rohan stronghold that is center of the final battle of the film?
Helm's Deep, final answer.
That is correct for 2 points. Your next question. What's the name of the dwarf lord from the Iron Hills that came to Thorin's aid in the Battle of the Five Armies?
Dane Ironfoot, final answer.
That is correct for 2 more points. Your third question in Middle Earth. In the Fellowship of the Ring, what name does Aragorn go by for most of the film?
Around here, he's known as Strider, final answer.
That is correct for 2 more points. Your next question. What is the name of Sam's wife who he marries in The Return of the King?
Rosie Cotton, final answer.
Correct for another 2 points. And your final question for the clean sweep. In The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, Bilbo climbs to the top of the trees in which forest?
Mirkwood, final answer.
And for the clean sweep, that is correct. Joe in the lead with 12 to Ross.
17. 17.
I don't know how to count. This is a lovely match. 17.
Oh boy.
I didn't go to multiple choice.
Is this an April Fool's match? You'll never know.
All right, so Ross, this is going to be the spin for you as we now get into your turn. And it lands on Fandom Oscars. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
We'll keep that.
All right.
All right, Ross, I'll give you your questions in the category of Fandom Oscars. Save Tim the trouble this time. Your first question. Skyfall tied with Zero Dark 30 to win what Oscar?
Best sound editing.
That is correct for 2 points. What was the first DC film to be nominated for an Oscar?
The first DC film was 1978 Superman.
That's correct for 2 more points.
Remember
Your third question.
Remember to have hands on screen, Ross.
Oh, yeah.
Your third question in the category of Phantom Oscars. Who was nominated for an Oscar for composing the score for The Prince of Egypt?
Hans Zimmer.
That's correct for 2 more points. Your penultimate question in the category of Phantom Oscars. What Star Wars film has earned the most Oscar nominations?
Star Wars A New Hope.
That's correct for 2 more points. And your last question in the category of Phantom Oscars. What was the last Pixar film to be nominated for Best Picture?
Toy Story 3.
That's correct for his own clean sweep. Make 17-15 in round 3.
Yeah, an absolutely great round 2 for both competitors, both sweeping their categories as we get into round number 3. This is the betting round. The way this is going to work is each competitor is going to hear the category. Once they hear the category, they're going to decide whether they want to bet 0, 1, or 2 points on the question. If they get it right, they gain those points. If they get it wrong, they lose those points. Are there any questions as we get into round number 3?
None here.
All right. So let's get into it. The first category you guys can bet points on is YA dystopia. So write down on your board how many points you would like to bet on the category of YA dystopia, and we'll get back. We good?
Good.
All right. So Ross, we'll start with you. How many points are you betting?
1.
All right. And Joe?
None.
0. Okay. So we will get into the question. Remember, both hands on screen as we ask the question. And it is, who directed all 3 Maze Runner films? Write your answer down on your board.
And Joe, you're playing for stats. Ross, you're playing Gator points.
Is that your doggo?
That's my doggo, just deciding to be a nuisance today.
That was the Hobbit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. For stats, we will start with Joe.
It's the right move, blanked.
All right. And Ross.
I was guessing Alex Kurtzman.
That is unfortunately incorrect. It is Wes Ball.
What?
So, Ross loses 1 point, goes down to 14. Joe keeps the lead with 17. As we get into the next category, what is it, Koho?
Your second question is in the category of Middle Earth. How many points would you like to bet on Middle Earth?
Yeah.
Yes. Ease is a man of few words. He just shows up and he just goes, "Do your thing." I like it.
We're on the same page because
He hasn't got to do the talk. He just has to do the talk. He just- Got you.
All right, we'll start with Joe
Yes, 2.
and Ross.
0.
All right, your question in Middle Earth. Give it to him.
Your question in Middle Earth. What is the name of Eowyn's brother in the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Rewatch this trilogy this week for the 4th time in quarantine. And it still is dope AF. So you can go lose it.
No arguments from me.
That's a lot of time being spent on those movies. I couldn't imagine it.
1. Pens down. We will start with Ross for stats.
Never got it, but Goldwyn.
And Joe.
AMR.
That is correct. So Joe goes up 2 points to 19. Ross bet 0. So no harm, no foul for getting it wrong. He has 14 still as we get into the next question, which is in the category of Planet of the Apes.
Definitely, I think you should go 0. You're up 5.
Yeah.
All right. So, Ross, we'll start with you. How many points you betting?
3.
You can only do up to 2.
So we'll
Okay,
take
2.
that.
2?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Joe.
0 point.
All right. So, Ross is betting 2. Joe is betting 0. Your question in Planet of the Apes. What is the name of the 4th Apes film released in 1972? I like these movies.
So these are not bad films.
There's only 2 of the original 5 I don't really like, and then the Burton.
And the Burton one is fine for being something totally different,
3.
That's not great.
1. Pens down. We will start with Joe, who bet 0.
I know if it's of or for Conquest of the Planet of the Apes.
And Ross.
I put Conquest.
Unfortunately, we cannot give it to you for just Conquest. We need the whole title, unfortunately.
Okay.
Was it of or for?
It is Conquest of the Planet of the
Okay.
Apes. So Joe gets it right. Ross loses 2 points. It is a 7-point game with 2 questions left. I think we're done, right?
No. 8-point possibility. So we got one more question.
So
right.
We'll go on to the next one.
All right. So 19 to 12 as we get to your penultimate question of the round, which is DC. How many points would you like to bet on DC?
2 points from Ross. 1 from Joe, looks like.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Okay.
All right, your question, the category of DC. Name one of the 2 DC sequels to not feature Batman or Superman.
Have you ever met my friend Philip Batman?
I have not. Have you met my friend Mark Superman?
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 I think that's the Friends joke. Why
Jason
isn't
Aquaman?
Spider-Man? Because his name isn't Phil Spider-Man. He's a Spider-Man. Repeat?
Yeah.
All right, repeat from Joe.
All right, name one of the 2 DC sequels to not feature Batman or Superman.
He's a Spider-Man. His name's not Phil Spider-Man. It's like one of my favorite jokes, that show.
It's a great joke. I love Flash. Or not Flash, Friends. I don't know what Flash came in.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm
Pen down. We are going to start with Ross on this one.
Birds of Prey?
And Joe.
I wasn't sure whether Red 2 would count, so I went with Return of Swamp Thing.
Red 2 definitely would have counted. Red 2 or Return of Swamp Thing we would have accepted. So with that, your winner, Joe Farrelly. Like I said, the correct answer would have been Red 2 or the Return of Swamp Thing. Final score of 20-10. What a match, Caleb.
This is a very solid debut match, Tim. Pretty decent showing from both. I expect to see Joe Farrelly back in the future.
Yeah, I expect to see both back in the future. You know, I mean, like both had decent round ones. It was 5-7 coming out of round one for a debut match. That's pretty good. And both swept their round 2 categories, which I think can't be underestimated. Joe, so quick on those Middle Earth questions. And then Ross just coming back in, getting Oscars. There was no hesitation. He was in, got all 10 points. It just so happened those round 3 categories weren't for him.
Absolutely. But with that, we can go over to some post-match interviews.
Yeah, let's talk to Ross first. Ross, unfortunately, you didn't pull out the win today, but you had a really good showing. How are you feeling about the way you played?
I feel like I need to see more now, like Middle Earth, because I love the Middle Earth movies, but it's just like I don't know them in and out. But except now, like and then of course, like I got to see some newer movies, but and some of the older ones. But except like I'm feeling I did pretty well for a debut match.
Absolutely. You clearly know your Oscars. You're up there in the league with Kaleb Koho as a man who knows his Oscars. So that is definitely something to be happy about. Sweeping your round 2 category in your first match is something very impressive that people should look out for. So yeah, we were happy to have you today. Is there anybody that you want to face in the future? Is there anybody in the league that you see that you want to play, or do you just want to get back in it?
I just want to get back in it.
Perfect. Well, we'll probably see you next season when we have more room for more matches. But it was great to have you here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you again. So we'll bring in the winner today, Thomas and Joe. Guys, same thing. Great round 1, 7 points, completely crushing Middle Earth, and then betting where you needed to in round 3. It was a great match. How are you guys feeling?
I feel great, but I feel Ross made me sweat. That Oscars category, he absolutely crushed it. What a debut, my word. But Middle Earth is what got me here. Is the betting round. When Middle Earth came up again, that's where the swing was.
Yep.
Only mistake I made was not ending this sooner because I knew Conquest. But apart from that, I'm very happy.
Yep.
Yeah, how are you feeling about the way that your client played today, Thomas?
I mean, Koho said it. A man of few words today. I mean, I didn't really have anything to say. We were on the same wavelength. He went and did his thing. Hats off to him.
Absolutely. So Joe, this does mean you have your first win on the record. So when you come back next season, which I believe is when you're going to be back in singles, correct, Koho?
Correct.
Is there anyone that you want to get that number 2 win so that you can start to work towards getting that title, like you said at the beginning?
No one's coming to mind right now. I'm happy to play anyone. I just want to play matches, do what I can. I like to play, but I need to play the best. I like playing the best. I like testing myself. I like putting myself up there. I know where I need to strengthen in fandom, and I'm working on it.
Awesome. All right. Well, we will definitely see you back next year to try to get that number 2 win on the record. So congratulations on your win. We will see you again very soon. Koho, any last thoughts on the match?
Well, we made history today. We aired the first 10 minutes of a match live to the internet. And what we also did was put on another hell of a debut singles match to chalk one up for the records. And now people are going to want to click this video and see that was the match. How did it go? And it was a fire match out of round 1 especially. So
yeah, I wanna thank everybody who was here today. Kaleb Koho, Ross, Joe, Thomas, Caleb Boatman for coming in and letting us know that we were streaming live of the first match that I've ever done a shot live on camera, and it happened to be literally streaming to the entire channel. But that's okay. Good times had by all. We will see you guys very soon with another match. Thank you so much. Peace out. Bring in the dancing Tootsie Rolls.
We are so glad you came. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye-bye. Remember, please discard all candy wrappers and popcorn containers in the nearest trash receptacle. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay. Are they all gone? Is everybody gone? Huh? Good.